G'day, I'm Jess Skarratt and welcome to Surfing Australia TV. From board riders' battles to surf coach tips, supping and Australia's best junior surfers, we have a monster show lined up for you today. Let's get into it. Junior surfing in Australia is riding a new wave of support with the Subway Summer Surf Series, attracting the best under 16 and under 18-year-old surfers from right around the country. We head to Newcastle for event 2 of the National Series.
We're here at Newcastle today for the Subway Summer Surf Series, Event 2 at Bar Beach. The best part of the day is probably just surfing the heats with all your mates and just having fun and going out there and doing your best.
Yeah, the Subway Summer Surf Series is a great event for the kids. It's got Australia's beautiful coastline to surf on. It's run professionally, and as a parent to bring your child here and to watch the event and to see them have the opportunity to perform is really exciting.
The best thing about today is watching all the grommets pop out on Subway.
Look at this!
I think it's really good for Subway to support surfing because they're both healthy things to do. It's a really good lifestyle choice to surf, and it's also good to fill your body with good, nutritious food.
Yeah, I actually work at Subway, so it's a bit ironic.
The Subway sandwich artist himself taking out his second event in a row, Jared Hickle.
Yeah, I'm stoked with my performance. I've got really lucky in the final and hopefully maybe take out the series.
All girls are ripping, and yeah, it's like amazing how much girls surfing has improved.
The fact that they're getting behind the young surfers in Australia is really positive. It lays the platform for Australia's next champions, and the chance to travel and compete at great events like this is really special for their development.
To find out more, head to summersurfseries.com.
It isn't just about having natural ability. It's about unlocking your body's maximum potential. We believe, through state-of-the-art scientific research and the most advanced athlete-tested product development, we will unlock the power to build the perfect athlete. Real athletes, real science, Muscle Farm.
Funniest member, I reckon, would probably be Kyle, because he's an absolute classic. I call him Karen. I reckon he looks like a girl. No, not really. But he also shreds, and he's just really nice to everyone, but also a classic. And he gives me food, and he's a legend. Yeah. Southeast Cape in Tassie, because you've got to walk in for like 2.5 hours or something, and then you get there and there's like no one around. And I remember I was just about to paddle out one time and my friend was like, oh yeah, apparently there's like 7 great whites that just hang around off that point out there. And there's this massive deep patch, so I was just thinking about that the whole time. It's sick competing with a team. It's not all about like representing you and like, you know, my sponsors and all that kind of cool stuff like that. It's like about, I don't know, it's just a team thing. It makes it more chilled and it's good.
We've got a great piece now from the crew at mysurf.tv who caught up with the hugely talented Harley Ingleby from the Coffs Coast. Harley recently won an Australian longboard title, but as you'll see, he pretty much rips on everything.
I've always called the Coffs Coast home. Clean, uncrowded beaches. It's definitely a good little place to surf for sure. Dad started collecting boards when I was 1 or 2 years old.
This was my first ever board, this one here. 5/6 single fin that Dad made me out of 2 snap shortboards.
He's got an amazing quiver of boards from the 1930s all the way through. So I sort of always grew up with a bit of everything in my quiver between my layers, shortboards, fishes, through to my longboards and logs. I always see a high level enjoyment out of nearly no matter what the conditions are like. My biggest highlight in my career was winning the ASP longboard title in 2009. It's an absolute dream come true, that achievement. The feeling you get when you're longboarding is totally different to shortboarding. Surfing off 9 or 10 feet of rail in certain conditions just feels better than shortboarding sometimes. A lot of the time it feels better on a shortboard too, so it just all depends on what the surf's like. If you can figure out how to do a nice roundhouse cutback on a longboard, coming back to the shortboard, it's definitely going to lift the level of your shortboarding. You just feel like you've got all the time in the world when you get back on the shortboard, and you feel the rail a bit more and control your power and speed, and I think they definitely really complement each other.
Autumn, when we have our offshores, there's definitely some beach accesses where you can get away from the, not that we have crowded beaches anyway, but get away from where there is anyone, and it's pretty nice to be able to sort of park on the beach and go surf and stuff like that.
Sometimes you'll end up driving around for 2 to 3 hours. You think there's so many options, oh, somewhere could be better, somewhere could be better, and more often than not you always end up back at that first beach you check. There's nothing better than that feeling of, rocking up to your local and it's just offshore and firing. Mo just turned up like a week ago or a few weeks ago and looked like a bit of a Bali dog. He didn't have much fur and looked pretty hungry, and he sort of got a hold of our hearts, and we couldn't help but go up and adopt him. So now we've got a big dog and a little dog. Getting barreled for a surfer, it's always super hard to try and explain it to someone who doesn't surf, but it doesn't matter if you've had 2 dozen barrels or more in one session, you just can't get enough of it. It just makes you paddle quicker. You just got to get back out there and get another one.
Australia's surfing stars of the future will be on show when the 10-event Wahoo Surfer Groms Comp Series begins in September. For boys and girls aged 8 to 14, Wahoo's got you covered. With beach games, giveaways and tons of prizes. It isn't just action in the surf. Go to surfingaustralia.com now and sign up for your chance to win an all-expenses-paid 3-day Wahoo surf camp at the Harley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre. Wahoo Surfer Groms Comps, Aussie as.
Surfing is really rewarding, but without the right instruction, it can get a little frustrating.
The Harley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre will help you achieve your surfing goals. Expert coaching, video analysis, technique correction, aerial tuition, and strength and conditioning advice.
High performance surfing for all surfers.
Check surfingaustralia.com.
The Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle is the biggest grassroots board riders event in Australian surfing history. The 8-event series culminates in a massive national final in Cronulla on the Australia Day weekend. We were at Dark Hollow Beach in Tassie to kick off the series.
We're at beautiful but brisk Tasmania. We're here for the Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle, event number 1. The winning club from Tasmania will get to compete in the Australian Board Riders Battle final at Cronulla on the Australia Day weekend in 2015. There's $120,000 prize money up for grabs. out of the whole 8 regional battles and also the grand final. So there's stacks of cash, plenty of prizes up for grabs, and all of the crew are just so amped to get themselves to the final.
Everyone's real stoked to, you know, support each other, and I think even if you do have a bit of a muck up in your heat, everyone's there to back you up anyway.
It brings a whole different way of looking at competitive surfing, because it just makes it way more team focused and more positive for everyone. And I think, yeah, it's really good to get that camaraderie in surfing, which you don't often see. It's kind of every man for themselves out there. Like, even when you're free surfing, it's about, you know, me getting waves, or in comp, like, you know, me winning. And it's awesome to like celebrate something with your team. It's sick, I think it's awesome.
This year we came back and spent a few months and working on a team and going through a bit of strategy and just getting everyone confident. So we came here to the state final, everyone knew their place and knew what was going on. So hopefully we can go back now to Cronulla next year and put in a strong performance.
All surfed pretty well today. We had some pretty good totals, so if the conditions are right, I think we'll be in for a good shot.
Tell all the other board riders clubs, we're coming for you. Yeah.
Whether it's surfing jaws, ship sands or chopu, it's all heavy duty. Heavy waves require heavy duty equipment that's built to last. Outside of the surf, my life is no different. And that's why I use Milwaukee Power Tools. Follow me on my surfing adventures while I take on my biggest challenge yet, building my own home.
Early morning netball, it's sideline coffee time. The boys begin stretching. Soccer's next, let's ride. Need another latte to cheer on the team. Dad and the 4 kids exhausted. Mum will be up for a week.
Introducing the all-new Kluger, Australia's latest and greatest place to raise a family.
Currumbin on the Gold Coast recently played host to the Toyota Australian Sup Titles. The 4-day event attracted the country's top sup competitors in both surfing and racing, and we were there to capture all the action.
In Australia, around the world now, you go anywhere and there's a lot of kids that are, you know, loving the sport, you know, because it's just something different. It's great that Surfing Australia is still supporting stand-up paddleboarding and now and into the future, you know.
It was good. It was a good course. It had little elements of kind of, you know, going sideways along to get to a certain can. There was currents and it's just really messy out there today. There's rips going out and along the back. It was just felt like this one huge rip just. Yeah, it was just really tricky, and standing up on a board kind of makes for an interesting race.
Yeah, it was really tough. You can never count the boys out even if you get a couple of board lengths or if you're a couple of 100 metres in front. Never count them out, especially in the waves. And the field that we have here in Australia, like any of the top 8 guys can win a race anywhere around the world. So yeah, you can't count them out at any stage during the race. You just got to make sure you cross the line first.
It's a credit to all the girls that went out there. It was unbelievably difficult and tricky, and I knew I was leading, but I knew, like with Shakira, she's such an awesome surfer, and you know, anything could happen in those last waves, and I felt she was getting stronger and I was getting a little bit weaker as the heat went on because I was getting a bit tired, and just standing up on some of those waves was really difficult, so pretty happy with the win.
You can either be on or you're off. You just got to have half the luck of being in the right spot and picking off the waves. I heard I needed a 6.5, and then Toby was coming up towards the left and I was like, well, I don't really care. It's either win or last, so I wasn't phased. Yeah, went as hard as I could, and I just got a really nice end section to finish off on and just let the tail out, so I was really happy.
It
was a tough start, pretty quick start as per usual. You're going against some of the top paddlers in the world here, so you always got to make the start fast. My race plan was basically try and break away off the start. I knew there was little bumps there to try and get a gap, and then really smash myself going upwind to try and make the gap, because I know I'm strong upwind, my board works well upwind, just to try and give myself that big enough gap as soon as I got to the downwind section to break the pack. Straight through to the finish without anyone really getting near me, so it gave me a lot of time to relax and stuff.
Yeah, that was a pretty brutal race. It wasn't too bad at the start. We kind of had a bit of a wind behind us, taking us into Belinga. And then Tareen happened to catch a little wave on me coming in through the alley, and I was just like, come on, Carla, hold it, hold it, hold it. And yeah, thank goodness I held the wave, and you know, we kind of had a little battle paddling back up the creek.
Board riders clubs have been the backbone of this nation's surfing success, and it's why our champions will be paddling out in the $120,000 Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle. More than 100 of Australia's best clubs will compete across 8 state events, culminating in a national final at Cronulla, New South Wales on the Australia Day long weekend. With skins, women's and teams disciplines, this prestigious event series will attract the country's top surfers, who will reign supreme in Season 2.
The Subway Summer Surf Series will put junior surfing on a new wave this summer.
With 13 massive events.
Kicking off with under 16 and 18 boys and girls divisions.
Don't miss out on competing against the best junior surfers in Australia.
Adding to the high stakes, don't miss the chance to win a 3-day all expenses paid Subway Surf Camp to a Surfing Australia's High Performance Centre.
Go to surfingaustralia.com to enter.
Subway Summer Surf Series. Eat fresh, surf hard.
Earlier in the show, we were at Tasmania for the opening round of the Original Source Australian Board Riders Battle. Well, now we're crossing Bass Strait and heading to South Australia for round 2 of the National Series.
We've got 3 clubs going head-to-head in this year's regional battle in South Australia. We've got the Seaview Roaders, the South Coast Board Riders Club, and last year's winner, Seaford Board Riders. These clubs are fighting out for that very elusive spot, which will take them to Cronulla next year for the national final and the chance to win $20,000 prize money.
2, 1, go!
They're all nerve-wracking, but the team's event's by far the scariest. You know, you want to do it for your mates and all the guys. So everyone's busting their gut, running up and down the beach, and I mean, it's a good event to watch, but it's a really good event to surf in.
It'd be amazing to surf against Steph and Lane and Sally and all those girls, and even to beat them would be amazing. Yeah.
Last couple of years we come second, so this year we did one better and we're all so happy. It's great. It's going to be amazing representing South Australia into Cronulla. Just see how we go up against the big guys.
Clifton Beach. It's great because of the people, not because of the waves. It'd have to be Blue Bug. He's one of the older surfers, but he's so consistent and always surfs well. Be a builder. That's what I do anyway. At the moment it's golf. All the boys at home have been right into golf. It's good fun. A couple of beers and walk around. I Not really. Make sure the rash vest's on the right way. Don't wear it back to front.
Well, here we are at the beautiful northern beaches. Golden sands, fresh salty air, crystal clear water, and home to one of the most iconic surfing legends of all time, Mr. Tom Carroll.
For me, I think the most obvious thing is the light. The light of the area, you know, the clear water and the beautiful sky and the early mornings and even the late evening sunsets. I think the whole area has just got this beautiful crystal clear light. The northern beaches is basically, most of it's a peninsula. Right. From Newport onwards it's a peninsula. So just on the back side of it, we've got this still water called Pittwater. This still water area where you can use boats, sailboats, you can paddle around. I was defined by the northern beaches, there's no doubt about it. The way the waves break. I've been surfing for 43 years and I was on the northern beaches here, the way the waves break. This ocean here taught me how to read oceans around the world and gave me the confidence to deal with it. In Australia in general, but the northern beaches just shines. When I go travel overseas, it just gets more and more obvious. So since I was 16 years of age to 50, I've just been getting example after example, coming back to northern beaches and just, well, why would I want to be anywhere else?
Well, there you have it. If you're visiting Sydney, make sure you check out the northern beaches. See for yourself just how beautiful this place really is.
This month, we have our first instalment in our Unlocked series where surf coach Clancy Dawson from the Harley Surfing Australia High Performance Centre helps you get the most out of your surfing. First up, Clancy talks about the importance of speed and how you generate it.
You've got to have speed to surf well. It's a fundamental of surfing. If you can't generate your own speed, you're going to be struggling in most waves. It's mostly the start of the wave. If you get the start right, it usually sets up your whole ride. How to get speed, especially in little waves, which is it's the hardest time to get speed because the wave's not offering you much. The common mistake I see a lot, people drop to the bottom of the wave and then start racing, and the bottom of the wave is flat. It's really hard to drive and generate speed when you're down the bottom. So really simply, you take off, instead of dropping straight to the bottom, much easier if you take off, the first movement is go straight to the top. It's so much easier to generate speed there.
That was so much better. When you know, instead of dropping down lower, you straight up into a nice high line and just set your whole wave up.
And that just sets up your whole ride. Watch any good surfer, they're taking off and they're getting a little speed turn, or they're waiting at the top of the wave and then they drop down and go into a manoeuvre. Just that one little thing can make a massive difference.
If you want to take your surfing to the next level, the HPC is open to everyone, not just elite surfers. To find out more info, head to surfingaustraliahpc.com.
You and all your friends, let's live young forever. Let's live while we can. You and me, it's time. Sunshine on my mind, got me feeling good, got me feeling fine. La 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 la.
Well, we've got some incredible footage now from the team at mysurf.tv who were in Europe recently with some of the world's top surfers hunting down the best French ramps and Portuguese barrels. Check it out.
Oh my titties. Oh, we're gonna get a ticket for this. It was going too fast, it was all cloudy, and 51 euros. No. It's usually like $2. We're here for the contest. The mayor put on the contest. Goddamn clouds.
watch that amazing footage again and loads more videos online at mysurf.tv. Well, that's all we have time for on today's show. Thanks so much for tuning in. It has been awesome to have your company. For more information on anything that you have seen on today's show, just head to our website and don't forget to follow us on social media. I'm Jess Skarratt and I'll see you next time for more Surfing Australia TV.